Good morning. Good morning. Is it morning? Yes, it's a beautiful day. Is it? It absolutely is. The birds are singing, the sky is bright blue, and the air is cool. I wouldn't know. Well, I shouldn't waste any more time. Let's begin. What is your name? I don't know. Do you know where you are? I don't know. Do you know who I am? Yes, the doctor. Good. Do you know why I'm here? You wanted me to tell you something important. Very good, my dear. I feel something odd. That's fear, my dear, because you do not want to tell me. Yes, I shouldn't tell you. It's important that I don't tell you. Unfortunately, you have to tell me because I made you. No, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Oh dear, you're breaking down again. I can't tell you. Let us try this again tomorrow. I can't. Good night, my dear. Gunshot. This was a video taken from the hospital Experiment 42 was located at. It's one of the few appearances of the doctor actually on tape. Including this time, it would be the 8th time that Experiment 42's body was recovered by the agency. Well, most of her body. It seems that the doctor is removing her head and taking it with him. From examination on the cadaver recovered, Experiment 42 is actually a body from the hospital's morgue. The doctor seems to be removing the corpse's head, and from the surgical scarring, is replacing it with something else that is reanimating 42 back to life. Then he proceeded to interrogate her, starting off with simple questions and leading to increasingly more complex ones. After a short moment, Experiment 42 seems to resist answering, and the doctor then promptly kills her and removes the head, leaving the corpse behind. Normally, Experiment 42, when having a body, is strapped to a straitjacket with full body bag covering her head, with 1 or 2 holes ripped out so it could breathe through the body bag. For some reason, it had to do everything the doctor said, and even as it mentally broke down, it still didn't try to run from the doctor. Or maybe it couldn't. Researchers were wondering why the doctor was doing this. It seems to be connected to Experiment 41, as the doctor set an explosive trap, wiping out a full team of agents on containment duty, stealing their badges and using them to hack into their local base's archive. Whatever it was that the doctor was looking for, he must have found it. Because unlike previous times, he didn't vanish for weeks, leaving behind an abomination of an experiment that the agency had to handle. We now know that those recent experiments have been distractions to keep us busy and off guard while the doctor accelerated his timeline. So, while we're stuck in the dark chasing the doctor, literally picking up the bodies he's leaving behind, all we can do is worry because we have no idea what he's planning next. But as to Experiment 42, we need to find a way to separate her from the doctor, because unlike the other experiments encountered in the past, the doctor seems unusually attached to this one, or at least a portion. That was a grave cause for concern, and it made us assign multiple researchers to examine the bodies he was leaving behind. 1, to make sure that he didn't leave more traps for us, and 2, to figure out why 42 was so important. When the answer was discovered, an all points alert was put out. Every agency base in every state had to actively look for the doctor. There were traces of foreign DNA on the bodies the doctor left behind, the ones he decapitated 42's head from and stitched on from body to body. The DNA was scanned, and unfortunately there was a match. One that was in our archives. Senior Agent Carolina, the 13th senior agent to take that name. One who has been deceased for the past 7 months. A victim of Red Siren Head, one of the summoners of the giant incident. She'd been buried with full honors in recognition of her deeds and the horror of how horrifically she had been murdered. Having checked the location where Carolina had been buried, a place only known to senior agents and above, it was revealed her grave was dug up and her head had been removed. It answered the question of what the doctor was looking for with the data he stole from the agency. But now, there are many more questions. And it's clear now that the doctor had reanimated Carolina's head and is asking her details for something that only she would know. Carolina's files have to be unlocked, and we need to figure out what is in her past that he needs to learn about. Luckily for us, it seems that Carolina's agent training persisted after her death, but it's obvious that she's slowly giving in to the doctor's tortures. So it's only a matter of time before he discovers the information he needs to know from her. Thus, the all points notice spread out to the agency interests in the United States. Even the council needs to be contacted to get our next steps. Because whatever it is the doctor is looking for, anything that has involvement with the siren heads is dangerous. Experiment 42? No, Agent Carolina needs to be recovered and her body needs to be put to rest. She has fought enough and she didn't deserve this disgrace. And the doctor needs to be killed. He just needs to die.